So, tell us who you are and where you will be this time tomorrow.
I'm Erin, and this time tomorrow I'll be 3.5 hours into my shift.
So that's where you'll be, but what would you be doing there at this time on a typical Monday?
So I'm a learning disabilities nurse, and I currently work on an assessment treatment unit. I am only doing that part-time at the moment, and that's where I'll be tomorrow, but I am transitioning to be there full-time. So assessment treatment unit is where people with learning disabilities who are really struggling in the community, more often than not with mental health problems than physical problems, they come to us for help. We help them get back on their feet, to get them back into the community, to go back to living fulfilling lives. We do this by looking at the medication and by doing some therapeutic interventions. This can be CBT, it can be just having a chat, it can be getting them out and skilling them up for the community, so like doing cooking sessions, doing gardening sessions, all this kind of thing. It's around getting the people ready to go back into the community where that is possible. Obviously sometimes it isn't possible and we have to look at other options for them, but the aim is to get people back into the community living a life as any of us would. So at this time tomorrow I would normally working on a one-on-one basis with one of the people on my ward. We do that in a rotating pattern so that we don't spend all day with one person, so that everyone gets the benefit of different people's input on their lives.
So what's one of the challenges that you'll face this week?
So one of the main challenges I'll face this week will be mostly because we're back in lockdown here in Merseyside. This means that a lot of rules that had started to be lifted from hospitals have now gone back in place. So in real talk, for me, that means that a lot of our patients can't go on leave from the hospital and they can't go and see their families. And this would be okay, not ideal, but okay. However, because I work with people with learning disabilities, a lot of the time they don't understand why these rules are in place, why it's affecting them. And so they think it's the nursing staff who are preventing them from going out to do what they want to do. And this can stop good work from taking place. It can put a halt on therapeutic activities we're putting in place for that day, and it can just become quite a difficult environment to work in.
And finally, one last question. How can we pray for you this week?
So one of the things you can pray for this week is to help the service users who I work with understand lockdown, COVID, and all the new rules that are governing our lives. That's a pretty big ask, I understand that. But even just a small amount of understanding can help with the distress levels for these service users, and at the end of the day, no one wants to be that upset, and it is happening every day. The second thing is kind of linked in with that. So service users who I work with are very lucky. They're on an assessment treatment unit, they're getting the help that we can provide. But there are a lot of people with learning disabilities in the community who are really, really starting to struggle, and that would normally be a time when they would come to us in the assessment treatment unit. However, there are no places left in assessment treatment units on our health board, and that means these people in the community are not getting the level of support they really need, and the community teams for people with learning disabilities are really starting to struggle to meet that demand